So Apple Mail is, how many are not using iCal? And that'll be a lot of people. Okay. I'm going to briefly touch on those only because there's some interaction from Apple Mail to those, and there's some reasons to go forward using that. Who here uses Entourage by any chance? Okay.
Did it work?
What's that?
I said I did it work, but I didn't like it.
Yeah. Entourage is really good, really powerful. Any of the clients I have, do you have a ton of folders?
No.
Okay, good. You would be
use it to take the mail off the MacNexus server to read the mail. But now it doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so Apple Mail will do it. Entourage, for those who don't know, is essentially part of Microsoft Office, which in the newest version of Microsoft Office, they've gone back to calling it Outlook. Apple Mail will import everything you have in Entourage very automatically.
So I haven't used it since the Audi.
Okay, great. Then, so that's not really an issue. I have a lot of clients that have multiple folders, and I never try to change someone's workflow, but 2 of them recently have had problems with the database in Entourage, so they've migrated over to Apple Mail, and they've liked it very good. But Entourage is very powerful. It's email, address book, calendar, all in one. Apple does it as kind of 3 separate programs, but the nice thing is all the Apple iOS devices, we're talking about multiple devices, the ability for everything to sync from one place to another, which remarkably they do with Entourage too. It does do it. Another thing about Google and Gmail, it has an address book and it has a calendar, and they can completely interact with iCal Calendar, Apple's address book, and your Apple iOS devices. So where MobileMe does that really nicely, and I encourage MobileMe, Google's doing a pretty good job of it now for free in those interaction, in that syncing. Just a little birdie said, MobileMe will maybe be changing here in the next few months. It may go free. It may have some other things. Keep posted. I know John's waiting because he's got a renewal coming up June something. and I keep saying, wait. Just a little thing aside to that. Look, we believe in MobileMe. I think it's me as in Empower Mac. I mean, in MacNexus we do too. But if they go free, it'll be neat because it'll be a syncing kind of things. But you can't go buy MobileMe right now new because they don't offer it in the store and they don't offer it other places. So we know there's something in the works because it's not like Apple's been afraid to take your money before for other things. So. All right. I did here in the break is I have it in the sent folder, but I essentially sent myself an email that had specific things in it that I wanted to point out. So if you can read this email up in here, how is Tuesday or May 15th? Well, watch what happens when I bring my cursor over Tuesday. Oh, I think it's because I'm zoomed in. Oh, hang on, I need to be in mail. When I hover over what's that? Oh, what's that? I'm hovering my cursor. I'm not clicking anything. Well, I can't I have to move the mouse. But so when you go over Tuesday, I click on this and it says, create a new iCal event. So let's say someone mailed you a party invitation. Okay? And there's the address and everything on this, and you want to make sure, you want to find out first if you're available on that date, and you want to add it to iCal. So I can say, show this date in iCal, and automatically, iCal opened up to that date. See, the mail said Tuesday, but it assumes the next Tuesday. That's why, this is doing, jeez. This is the first time I fired up it on, that's all my MobileMe stuff. So needless to say, I use iCal a little bit. Now, the other one is the May 15th. We'll do the same thing. Show this date in iCal or create a new iCal event. Oh, this is Party of the Century. And it's not all day as much as we wish it would, so I deselect that. If it's a good party for people my age, it starts at about 6. And it'll probably get over about 9. And I can decide what calendar I want to put it in. There's a few of us that would care about it being the Sharks schedule, but we can't do that. So I guess that'll go into my home calendar. I can set my alarms from right here. I'm going to show you more of that in iCal in a second. But anyway, I'm going to say add to iCal. So if we go to iCal, imagine that on the 15th, party of the century, right here.
And that was from Apple Mail.
It was really tough. Let's go back to see how hard that was again. We go over here, we hover over, and we say, create new event in iCal.
Where does the arrow come from? It just comes
When I hover over, I'm not clicking, I'm just hovering over. Imagine me hovering.
And is that
But,
just because you have iCal installed or something?
Nope.
How does that work?
It's
How
called
does
a data detector. Anytime in 10.5 and 10.6, this is a data detector. It says, that looks like a date.
Okay, so if I have 10.4, I'm not going to see that.
Probably not.
Okay,
Is there a reason you're running 10.4?
because I can't afford a new computer and upgrade.
Is your computer an Intel computer or a...
Yeah,
It is an Intel.
yeah.
Okay. Shut the door. We'll talk about what we can do on that. Okay. I'll explain something. It's an Intel machine, right?
It's a iMac G5.
Oh, G5's not Intel. So never mind. I can't give you that top secret.
Okay.
You can go to 10.5. It's a little pricey to do it, but there's some great features in 10.5. But to be honest, it's one of those where you're better off spending that money too. So you might not have data detectors.
I would rather spend the money on a new computer.
Right.
than have the-
I agree. Is it an iMac G5?
Yeah,
Um,
about 5 years old.
do not. Okay, and they're great, but they have some issues. We've had a lot of them in triage. If it dies, don't spend any money fixing it.
Right.
Because there's
I
4
already
things
told
that can
that.
go wrong on it, yeah.
Video processor.
The video processor, the capacitors, there's other issues on that, and
Capacitors look
good. So, anyway, and you'd be better off, rather than spending money on it, you could buy another one just like it, knowing that you might get some more life out of it. But
Yeah.
anyway, all right, so data detectors, you won't have them. Sorry, anybody else not on 10.5 or 10.6? It's not to pick on you, I'm sorry.
No problem.
But I don't think it's there.
I don't even know, so.
I'm sorry?
Nothing
I
on
just
her.
saw
I don't
something
even
that
know
I
what
haven't
I'm
seen.
seeing.
Okay. Well, if you hover over and you get a data detector, if you hover over and you get this little
Yeah.
triangle, you'll know it's that.
But that would be once you get me on mail, right? Because I'm just using.
Correct.
Post.
Once you're on mail,
None of this is
right.
gonna
And this
apply
isn't
like
available
that.
on there, exactly.
Okay.
So I believe that Gmail offers it inside Gmail itself to go to the Gmail calendar, which you can. But you know what? All this is saving you is from copying and pasting it into iCal. But I'm trying to make this this is like the entry drug to get you to use iCal. Okay. So we just said show this event in iCal, and once it's in iCal, I can edit it. I can add alarms, like I can send a message with sound 2 days before. I sometimes set up, if it's something really important, I'll set up 3 messages. Send me an email 2 days before. Send me an email the night before, and send me an alarm to my iPhone. It does all my devices that day. So it beeps, etc. You can also there's some wonderful things that's called the repeating features. So let's say I want to repeat this event. Of course, it's party of the century, so it'd have to be every month. But the nice thing is let's actually finish this one. I'm going to change this to a Mac Nexus, to this one where Mac Nexus is.
Huh?
Okay, I just drug it.
I didn't know you could do that.
You can drag it. Another little key feature here in iCal, in preferences, show event times in month view, and show birthday calendar, which is from your address book. You'll notice that now it says that party of the century starts at 6 in front of it. It's kind of hard to see, sorry. So now, party of the century, like a Mac Nexus meeting. I'm going to schedule this like a Mac Nexus meeting. So I'm going to double click, and I'm going to say edit, and I'm going to say repeat. Now, when do we have Mac Nexus meetings? They're every month, but they're not on the same date. They're not always on the 17th, right? They're the custom monthly and see, it recognizes where it is. every third. Let's see what. Yeah, it's the third
Wait a minute, it's every month.
Every third
on the third Tuesday. It's monthly. I know. Sorry. Thank you. On the third Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
So now if I hit that and I say, okay, it does it. And I can say, end never, end after a year, end after this, or just let it go on forever. Now, so I'm going to say done. So that's the repeat function. And we're only going to briefly go into iCal and Address Book, but I think this is important because I think we have plenty of time on email here. So now I'm going to